So this is the tracking changes to drawings webinar. So we're just going to run through a little bit of history about us, about Cloud A2K, and about myself. Just a general introduction to Bluebeam. Hopefully we all do have it and have had a bit of a look through it. And then we're just going to go into tracking changes to drawings. So we should run about 20 minutes. It's going to be generally running through like the overlay, compare commands, and how we can track the changes very well. So splitting pages, overlaying, comparing, batch overlay of documents, and a batch compare, and then a bit of a Q&A at the end. Cloud A2K, yeah, we're a company which goes through, we deliver software and hardware, and we do consulting and training. So we do training both on-site and in classrooms at our offices. We also provide a lot of Revit families and stuff like that, templates, BIM manuals, and consulting on BIM execution plans and the like. So we've got, yeah, we're expanding a lot now, so sort of going pretty well. A2K and growing. Bluebeam's American based, and it's becoming like the consolidation and communication tool of choice between a lot of contractors, especially in America. I've just started with A2K Technologies in June. I've been using Bluebeam since 2016, Revit user since 2010, Navisworks since the same time, which is a coordination software, and Dynamo the last couple of years. I've recently done a stint at Arup. I was there for 2.5 years working on some of the big projects there. So I did some work on Lachlan's Line Bridge, Circle Quay Tower, all of that. So I'm a structural technician, so that's my history, and I've been in the game for 25 years experience. I did my apprenticeship in '94 with Sinclair Knight Mertz. So Bluebeam, it can cut down, it's all about going paperless. So we can get everyone in the same system, and we sort of can cut down on the miscommunication that happens, because you'll have one electronic copy which will be worked for all markups. It's easy to track changes and to track what's happened and who's made the changes. And changes can be made on site as well. So the PDF, it contains a lot of metadata, which so you can export pretty much a 3D straight from Revit or a native program. And with that, you can get data about like what columns you're using, what beams you're using, and a lot of sizes, etc. You can hyperlink in it, use bookmarks, put heaps of attachments. So it's really becoming not just a drawing as such, it is becoming like a metadata object, which is fully customizable, and you can investigate the model fully. So you can attach images, and a lot of the 3D data as well comes through on the PDFs. So it's one file. You can do quantity takeoffs, collaborative review. You can share the studio so that many people can be in the one PDF at the same time. You can manage drawings through it from one to whatever. So you can have it in and have a file system and have that all locked in a single PDF so that everyone can access the full data set. So documentation as well, and field issues. So someone on site can flag something, and that can be uploaded almost straight away through using Wi-Fi. And it can be, changes can already be starting to be made back in the office. And so now we're going to go into Bluebeam. So we'll leave questions for the end. If anyone's got any, I'll hang around for a bit until people stop asking questions. And there's a link there, which I'll show again at the end, which you can use to get back on our websites and go on the other Bluebeam bursts. So I'm just going to open Bluebeam now. I'm just going to bring in a drawing that we have set up. Which is just this one here. So it's a small architectural dwelling. So going on that. I'm going to also add in another sheet. So the simplest way to look at drawings and compare them is to just simply split the screen. So we have a split screen function down the bottom here. So we can split horizontally or vertically, and split vertical. And this button here is the synchronize view button. So that synchronizes the views. You can also get to these through the view, and they've got split here and synchronizing page, synchronizing document. So if we synchronize the pages, it will track where we are on the same drawing. So these are different versions of the same drawing. We can go through and see generally what changes have been made. It is a bit cumbersome, and there's better ways to do it. So we're just showing here how it will flow around. And this is the simplest method and closest method to just printing out two different drawings and just following through the changes. So now we're going to overlay the documents. So we can pick that we want to overlay these two drawings. Just say, okay, and what that will do is that will create an overlay drawing. I'll shut this one down for now. Go back to our single page. And what this has done is this has just overlaid the drawings. We've got the red, and if we look through our layers here on the left, that tells us what drawing is laid on. So we can turn each one off of these. We can see small changes that have been made. Grid 2 has obviously moved. A few changes around the bedroom. Ensuite's changed. This has changed. So that's the simplest overlay, which will just overlay the drawings and show you what's changed between versions. So you do want to use this. This is handy when you've got people are using the same drawing, but they're showing different things. So you might have an architectural plan or a structural plan, and you can bring the MEP plan straight on top. And that's really the difference between overlay and compare. So overlay overlays the drawing and just gives you a basic view of it and how things have changed. It will highlight each. You can overlay more drawings. So you can easily just add in another one. By going back to document and overlay, then we can add another file. We can path that through to this file, bring in that as well. And this is where the appearance of that file, so this new one I'm adding in will come in as blue. And it will create a new layer on top of that, which I can then turn off and overlay. So it's good for overlaying architecturals with structurals and the like. If you did want to compare more the plans that were exactly identical, you'd probably use the compare feature, which I'll show now. So what I'm going to do as well in overlay, I'm going to add in another document now which doesn't line up. So if we overlay drawing 3 here, bring that in, it's going to come in as green. And everything we can see has been shifted, which will happen in a common drawing environment. So the way we fix that is now we know that the files are not aligned. So we'll exit out of both. Now we'll get through the command just through here. So document will overlay pages. And I'll pick 2 and 3. Attach both of them. This is where we can source, so which page we want to do, where we want to create it, use the source layers, the different colors of the backgrounds. So we'll have the O2 as red, and we'll have the O3 as green. And then we get to the next point, which is align points. So we know that they don't line up. The best way to line them up, so it comes up here with a little dialogue, please choose 3 points on the documents for manual alignment. And for best results, choose corners of the document. So we're going to use the boundary because, as we know, grids may change, rooms may change. The drawing sheet, depending on if it came from someone else or something, that may change. But if you're bringing in an architectural and maybe a mechanical drawing, everyone will be using the same boundary. So we'll use the boundary. So we'll pick 1 point, which will be the corner there. corner below, and the corner to the top right. And now we can see it's taken us actually to the second drawing, and we can see here that it's put in a grey 1, 2, and 3 over there, and they're the points where that it's sourced from the original file. So we're going to correct those points now and give it the comparable points on our new drawing. And now we can see it's brought both those drawings in at the same. We can tell that, especially with the title block, it's been a different position on the page and it's moved it accordingly. Now we can easily see that the orientation of the master bedroom has changed. A few of the dimensions here. Now it hasn't wiped out the data from both. If you really zoomed in, you can see that it's actually overlaid the green and the red, and there is a small error of alignment there. That's where you can easily see what the changes have been. They've changed some of the wording. They clarified what the opening is in the door, in the wall, and the orientation of the bedroom. So that's with overlay. It will still have the layers in here so that we can go back to each drawing in itself and sort of look at those original drawings through the layers. It's created a new file, which is the overlay. So then you could save that as your overlay comparison page. Another simple way to do an overlay is to do a cut screen. So we can take a snapshot of the first 4. So I'll now grab that snapshot. So I can go back into 02, 03 again. And what I can do is paste in place, which will put it in the same place. Now I know that this one won't line up because it's drawn from where the drawings didn't line up. And the way to fix that again, so I can select that, go to the properties. I can change the colors of everything that's come in. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, just to clarify for me which drawing I've brought in. So this is all the source colors here, which will change. So it's generally got the different, so I'm just going to make everything red. So you've got to go through the different line styles that it's brought in. And that's probably about enough. Now I can also change, so I'm going to change the position to line up on grid A, to line up on grid 1. And I'm also going to change the transparency of that. So now again, we can easily see what has changed, what stayed the same. So that's another good way to do it. And you can do that like for little part plans, even little key plans, little detail plans you have, even details on drawings as well. You can just do a cut and paste, drag it on and change the properties of that file that you brought on, and you'll see what has changed. So now we're going to show the power of comparing things. So I'm going to shut that down. And if we go back to my desktop files, so I'm going to use both these files again, and I'm going to run them as a compare. So I'll go to compare documents, and it's asking for where I want to grab each one. So I'll just grab each one out of that folder. 01 and 02. This is where it's going to put our output drawing, output folder, so I'm just going to leave that there. And it's got a few other options here. So manual alignment, again, you can pick the points as we did from the other one. So this is where you get a chance to actually do the drawings. It's got a few advanced comparison things in here too, which you can change the tolerance, how it's going to pixel, and what we want to show. So we're going to show the difference. We want to show the difference of the things, and we want to cloud it, and we're going to lock those clouds. So you can change the fill color of the cloud. I'm just going to make that a half. So I've got a strong color for the red. Now we'll compare those two documents. That's nice. I think I've moved the folder. So I'm going to change the output folder. Just put that in here. And there we go. So it's kept our original file, the 0201, and then it's made our cloud file here of all the changes that have happened in between that drawing and 02, the difference. So I'm going to shut this file now and just deal with our different file. So we can see it's clouded all the changes and of what's happened. So it's a great way to cloud changes and just to show what's happened on each drawing between each revision. You can go through and it'll come here and each difference will be highlighted. So we might decide that, well, we obviously don't want to know the difference in the revision. So I need to unlock the differences. So that's just a matter of highlighting all, right clicking, going to unlock. So that will take them off. And then we can go in here and we can delete that one, keep that one, go through and just highlight the different, it'll take us to the differences in the drawing. There we go, we've got a clouded change of exactly what's changed in that drawing. So it's quite useful. What we can do is we can do a batch overlay. So we're going to do that now. So we have both the same factors here, both compare and both overlay, but we can do it as a batch. So that's where it gets the power if you've got 100 drawings. So what we showed before was just if you've got a couple of simple drawings to overlay, but if we want to compare many drawings. So what we can do is we can batch compare. So we want to add, and we'll add a folder of all our drawings. So we have folder 1, which is 1st of the 5th. And we'll add another folder here of what to compare. So we can see the drawings that's grabbed out of each file. So the second revision had 5 new drawings. The old ones only got the 5 original and the new ones updated 2 drawings. So we'll go to match pages, which will then pick out, okay, these are the 2 drawings or the 4 drawings that have been matched. So we can make sure we accept that, and the unmatched ones are these 3, which haven't changed. So we're going to create a detailed report as well, which will be in PDF format. And what we get here as well is a batch summary. So if we look at so this has given us a report of what it's produced in here. So we can, that is all hyperlinked through the file. So it's given us the information in here, the revised page, the current page, and what it's compared, the differences it's found. So 6 and 10 differences on each one. And then we can use this to go straight to those drawings. So on our elevation, it's picked up those differences. And the grid change here. So again, you can tab through those clouds. And delete the ones you won't want. I have set it as locked, so you will need to unlock if you want to make amendments to the clouds. So you get the 2 drawings done through, and then the batch summary. So we'll go through that again this time, and we'll use the overlay. So I'll just shut those down. So I'll do a batch overlay through the same method, adding a folder. Match pages again. It's picked up the same errors. So you always need to make sure we create the hyperlink, which will allow you to go from the report to the overlays. Get the overlaid pages. That's where it's done it here. So you can see that grid 2 is changed. It's highlighted. Highlighted all the changes in each one. Same here. So it's a great way of tracking changes because, as we know, not all consultants will get their clouds right. Whatever, we can see that they've just clouded the grid change, but they've actually changed the layout of the room as well. Or location. So we get all these changes that they have made through the project. So it's a lot easier at a quick point to show how that would be done. Again, I did have someone that used, like if we had one PDF that contained all these, so if these were combined, so we can combine these files just by right-clicking, binding files, make the source output same. So we can compare that with the other file. But what happens here, you have to always compare apples with apples. So I'll just combine those files. Probably make the same one as the. It's not liking me doing that for some reason. Let's be doing something. Output file. Yeah, there we go. I just created 20 of them. So we've got the two files there that we need to combine. But what you need to compare apples with apples. So if I'm comparing different files, so it's not going to pick up that there's an elevation in there. That's where it gets a bit more complex, and you need to amend each file accordingly. So I would have to go into here, just take out those two files, which sort of defeats the purpose of combining them. And then if I ran a batch compare between those, so I'll pick out the one file that's changed and combine, so they're all unmatched. So what you do need to do is you do need to make sure you sort of match up the exact same with the exact same files to make that work. So if you wanted to do multiple drawings, that's about it. So I'm going to open it up for Q&A. Revu CAD, yes, it doesn't. So we've got a question there. Which of the features are not available in Revu CAD? do think you have batch compare and batch overlay. I don't think you have the batching tools. I think you have everything just as in the normal files. But I'd really need to look up what one there went well. So I have to find out what the difference is there with the ones. There we go. Batch overlay, compare and overlay is in CAD. Is in the Revu CAD version. So we will have a, this will go up on our YouTube channel. And if you probably use the link here, that link there will take us to all our stuff on the Revu kit. And it will also be on our A2K Cloud YouTube channel and through LinkedIn. And that's about it. So thank you all for your time. Just if anyone wants to ask any questions, just shoot them through or email through. Excellent. So I'll just finish that off then. So thanks a lot for your time. So Cloud A2K, so look us up on LinkedIn and follow along. The next one is, we do have another one coming up after this, which is on our next Monday as well. So come back, please. That's about it. So I'm going to shut down. So I will send, someone is asking for our link. So if you, so that link there on the tracking, if you go through that, that should take you all through our tools. Dave, I'll send you a link to the YouTube channel, and a few of the attendees, I do have email addresses of some, so I'll send through a follow-up email. Okay. Have a good week, everyone. Thank you.